Hello, welcome to VNA Broadcast Daily and following today's highlights.
Vietnam and Macedonia increase ties to tap economic potential. Vietnam is making positive steps to become a member of the International Union of Notaries. A seminar seeks ways to increase the managerial capacity of ocean tuna fishing.
Macedonia and Vietnam hold a lot of economic advantages, but the bilateral cooperation has yet to tap their potential, President Trương Tấn Sang said at his reception for visiting Macedonian Foreign Minister Nikola Popovski in Hanoi on November 12.
President Sang thanked Macedonia for supporting Vietnam's struggle for national liberation. He stated that the good relationship of the past is basis for the two nations' bilateral cooperation to grow in the future. He expressed his hope that the visiting foreign minister will work with Vietnam's agencies to sign agreements soon, paving the way for the acceleration of economic and trade ties. Nikola Popovski informed President Sang about the two sides' preparations for the signing of some cooperation agreements in culture, economics, education and investment. Highly valuing Vietnam's investment attractiveness, he added that Macedonia is willing to welcome foreign investors, including those from Vietnam. Earlier the same day, Foreign Minister Van Binh Minh held talks with his Macedonian counterpart. Minh said Vietnam considers developing friendship and cooperation with traditional friends, including Macedonia, highly important. For his part, Minister Popovski delivered Macedonia's wishes to restore, expand and strengthen the traditional friendship with Vietnam. Vietnam is willing to act as a conduit for Macedonia's goods to enter ASEAN countries. Likewise, Macedonia will act as a gateway for Vietnamese goods, especially rice and coffee, to enter the Balkan market.
Vietnam is making positive steps to become a member of the International Union of Notaries. This was confirmed by Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng when he met with Union President Jean-Paul Decaux in Hanoi on November 12.
President of the International Union of Notaries, Jean-Paul Decaux, is leading a delegation of the Superior Council of French Notary to Vietnam. At the reception, Prime Minister Dong also affirmed that Vietnam wants to expand cooperation with not only foreign countries but international institutions, including occupational associations. He said he hopes that Jean-Paul Decaux, in his capacity as President of both the International Union of Notaries and the Superior Council of French Notary, will work to develop the cooperation between the notaries of Vietnam and France, as well as between Vietnam and the International Union of Notaries. Decaux asserted he will do his utmost to promote notary cooperation with Vietnam and accelerate the process of Vietnam's admission to the International Union of Notaries. He also asked for increased cooperation between Vietnam localities and members of the Superior Council of French Notary.
The procuracy sectors of Vietnam and Ukraine have agreed on mutual support on building legal documents and expert training. A delegation from the Supreme People's Procuracy of Vietnam, led by Prosecutor General Nguyễn Hòa Bình, visited Ukraine from November 9th to 13th.
During the visit, Binh held talks with Prosecutor General Viktor Pashonka of the Ukraine General Procuracy. The two sides discussed measures to increase cooperation in prosecution and verdict implementation. They agreed to protect citizens from the two nations that live and work in each other's territory. Binh said that he hopes Ukraine, as a member of the International Association of Anti-Corruption Authorities and the International Association of Prosecutors, will continue to support Vietnam's participation in these organizations. For his part, Pashonka affirmed his backing for Vietnam's cooperation initiatives and pledged to support Vietnam's participation in international organizations relating to prosecution work.
The world's leaders and the Global Coalition Against Child Pneumonia are calling for efforts to combat pneumonia, the major killer of children under 5, on the occasion of World Pneumonia Day that falls on November 12.
In 2011, pneumonia staggeringly took the lives of 1.3 million people and was responsible for 1 in 5 child fatalities across the world. An UNICEF representative in Vietnam said pneumonia is one of the primary causes of death among Vietnamese children. As many as 11 children under the age of 5 die of this disease each day. According to the Global Coalition Against Child Pneumonia, Vietnam should prioritize vaccination and antibiotic treatments, improve hygiene standards, and popularize practices like breastfeeding, regular hand washing with soap, and the use of clean household items to eradicate germs at home. Breastfeeding babies for the first 6-month period reduces the risk of bacterial contamination through respiration and contracting pneumonia by up to 15 times. However, the rate of breastfeeding in Vietnam remains the lowest in the Southeast Asian region. World Pneumonia Day is held annually to raise public awareness of the disease, as well as to promote measures to tackle it.
The Japanese ship Fuji Maru left the Saigon port in Ho Chi Minh City on November 12, wrapping its 4-day visit from November 9th. The visit aimed to strengthen the friendly relations between the young people of ASEAN countries and Japan.
This is the ship's 12th passage to Vietnam, of which is anchored 11 times at Saigon port and once at Da Nang port in the central region. The voyage forms part of the Southeast Asian Youth Ship Program, a joint venture between the Japanese government and ASEAN governments, and initiated by Japan in 1974. It is an annual event to cultivate solidarity and friendship between youngsters in ASEAN and Japan. Birthed of the city for 4 days, 310 youth delegates from Japan and 10 ASEAN member countries visited the city's leaders and historical sites. They participated in cultural exchange activities with local youth and partook in a homestay program to learn about local life and culture. The ship and delegates will sail for Thailand, Singapore, Brunei, and Indonesia.
The Ministry of Transport announced on November 12 that construction of a tunnel route under Car Pass and Koma Pass will start on November 18th. The tunnel route links the two central provinces of Phú Yên and Khánh Hòa on the National Highway 1A.
The tunnel route will be 13.4 kilometers long, with the section under Sa Pass measuring 3.9 kilometers and 500 meters under the Khao Ma Pass. Construction, which is estimated to cost more than 15.6 trillion VND, is expected to complete by 2016. On completion, the tunnel route is expected to reduce traffic accidents on National Highway 1A and contribute to the development of big economic centres, industrial zones and tourism sites in the central region. It will also contribute to socio-economic and political development and ensure security defence in the Central and Central Highlands regions.
A seminar to increase the managerial capacity of ocean tuna fishing was held in the central city of Da Nang on November 13th. The event was part of a project sponsored by the Western and Central Pacific Fisheries Convention.
As an important source of revenues to the Vietnamese fisheries, stocks of ocean tuna roaming offshore Vietnam are estimated to amount to 665,000 tonnes. The catch of ocean tuna is increasing in the central provinces of Binh Dinh, Phu Yen and Can Ho, with a fleet numbering 2,400 boats in total. The seminar also looks to help relevant agencies shape a complete national management plan for ocean tuna stocks to enable the sustainable fishing of the fish. According to the Vietnam Association for Seafood Exporters and Producers, the country exported $450 million of tuna by mid-October, marking a year-on-year increase of 55%. The US remains Vietnam's leading tuna importer. At present, global demand for tuna exceeds supply. It is forecast that Vietnam's tuna exports in 2012 will continue to increase, doubling the value of last year's return.
That comes to the end of our news today. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.